Think of a memory you are certain of. Not a general impression, a specific one. A room you were in, a face across a table, a sentence someone said that you have carried with you since. You can see it. You can hear it. Feels like yours. You were there. Now consider this. The last time you remembered it, you changed it. Not because you meant to, not because you were careless, but because that is what memory does. Every time you retrieve it, you alter it. Every time you bring it forward, it comes back slightly different from what it was before. You have been doing this your entire life, and the memory you are most certain of has been rewritten the most. The way most people think about memory is that it works like a recording. The event happens. The brain stores it, files it away somewhere reliable the way a camera captures an image. When you need it, you retrieve it. The memory plays back. What you see is what happened. This model is intuitive. It matches the subjective experience of remembering, the feeling that you are watching something that occurred, not constructing something that might. It also happens to be wrong in almost every important detail. Memory researchers have known for decades that memory is not reproductive. It is reconstructive. When you remember something, you are not pressing play on a stored recording. You are rebuilding the event from fragments, combining what actually happened with what you know now, what you expect, what you've been told since, what fits the story you tell about yourself. Every act of remembering is also an act of editing. For most of the 20th century, this was understood in a general way, that memories were imperfect, that people forgot things, that time distorted detail. What was not understood was the precise moment the editing happens, and what opens the door. In 2000, a team in New York found that answer at the level of brain chemistry, and it was not what anyone expected. Karim Nader and his colleagues at New York University, working with Joseph LeDoux, published a paper in Nature in 2000 that changed how neuroscientists think about memory at its most fundamental level. They were studying fear memories in rats. When a rat learns to associate a sound with a mild electric shock, it forms a reliable memory stored in the amygdala, the brain's threat processing center. These memories are stable. They persist for the lifetime of the animal. For decades, it was assumed that once a memory was consolidated, once it had been chemically fixed into the brain's architecture, it was permanent, protected from alteration. Nader's team decided to test what happened when a memory was retrieved. They trained rats to fear a specific sound. Then they reactivated the memory, they played the sound again, triggering recall. At the exact moment of retrieval, they blocked a protein the brain uses to restore memories. What they found was startling. The old memory was gone, not suppressed, not weakened, erased as though it had never formed. What this revealed was that memory is not stored once and then protected. Every time a memory is retrieved, it returns to an unstable chemical state. It must be rebuilt, reconsolidated. During that window, which opens at the moment of recall and closes hours later, the memory is vulnerable, can absorb new information. It can be shaped by whatever is happening around it at the moment you remember. Your memories are not fixed records. They are living structures that require active maintenance. And every time you visit one, you leave traces of the present inside it. But reconsolidation happens at the level of chemistry. What actually changes the content, what rewrites what you remember seeing, hearing, feeling. In 1974, Elizabeth Loftus and John Palmer at the University of Washington published one of the most replicated studies in the history of psychology. They showed participants a short film of a car accident. After watching, participants were asked questions about what they had seen. The questions were identical except for one word. Some participants were asked, how fast were the cars going when they hit each other? Others were asked, how fast were the cars going when they smashed into each other? The group that heard smashed reported significantly higher speeds than the group that heard hit. Both groups had watched the same film, but it went further. A week later, all participants were asked whether they had seen broken glass in the footage. There was no broken glass. The group that had been asked about smashing was more than twice as likely to report having seen it. A single word used in a question, asked after the event by someone who was not there, had changed what these people believed they had witnessed with their own eyes. Loftus spent the following 5 decades documenting how thoroughly memory can be altered. by the phrasing of a question, by information introduced casually afterward, by suggestion, by imagination, by the simple passage of time. False memories are not produced by unusual or damaged minds. They are a routine output of normal memory function. Every time someone has asked you about something you experienced, they may have altered what you remember experiencing. Every retelling absorbs new material. Every conversation about the past leaves a residue in it, including the conversations you have only with yourself. Think about the memories that matter most to you, the ones you have returned to again and again. A conversation that defines something, a moment with someone who is no longer there, the last time you saw a place before everything changed. You have retrieved these memories dozens of times, maybe hundreds. Each retrieval opened a reconsolidation window. Each one left the memory slightly altered by who you were at that moment, what you understood then that you didn't before, what had happened in between. The memory you have held most carefully is the one you have rewritten most. This is not a flaw in an otherwise reliable system. It is how the system was designed to work. A memory that could update itself, that could incorporate new context, new meaning, new emotional weight, was more useful than one frozen in place. The world changes. The people in your memories changed. You changed. A living memory was worth more than a perfect photograph. But it means that what you carry is not simply what happened. It is what happened, passed through every moment of remembering since. The original event and the accumulated residue of every time you return to it. Every word you used to describe it, every person you told, every night you replayed it alone. What you call the past is a living thing, still being shaped by the present. You have never stopped writing it. There is one final piece, and it changes what memory is for entirely. In 2007, Daniel Shatter and Donna Rose Addis at Harvard University published a paper in the Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society B that synthesized decades of neuroimaging research into a single conclusion. They were investigating what happens in the brain during two very different mental activities: remembering the past and imagining the future. These feel like opposite operations. One looks backward, one looks forward. One involves what happened, the other involves what hasn't. The neuroimaging showed that both processes use exactly the same neural network. The hippocampus, the medial prefrontal cortex, the posterior cingulate cortex, the entire system that activates during memory also activates during imagination. The same regions, the same patterns, the same underlying machinery, running in both directions. Shatter and Addis proposed that this is not a coincidence. Memory, they argued, is not primarily a system for archiving the past. It is a system for simulating the future. The brain stores fragments of experience not as records but as raw material, building blocks for constructing scenarios that have never happened. You remember in order to imagine. The past is the vocabulary your brain uses to write the future, which means that memory and imagination are not separate faculties. They are the same faculty pointed in different directions. What you call remembering and what you call imagining run on identical hardware. The brain does not distinguish between them at the level of the mechanism. Both are constructions. Neither is the thing itself. You are not remembering the past. You are rebuilding it every time from whatever fragments are available at the moment of retrieval. Fragments that have already been altered by every previous retrieval. Shaped by the words you used to describe the event to someone else. Colored by what happened afterward. Weighted differently depending on who you have become since. The person who had the original experience is not the same person doing the remembering. The reconstruction is real, but it is not the same as the original. This is unsettling. It is also, in a way, something else. The memories that have changed the most are the ones you return to the most. The ones you kept turning over, kept finding something new in, kept carrying forward into a life that kept changing. You did not preserve them perfectly, but you did not leave them alone either.